Hidden danger is skyrocketing in popularity among criminals. We're talking about homemade guns. These weapons have been used in some high-profile crimes right here in Southern California. Tonight, I-Team investigative reporter Lolita Lopez shows us why law enforcement is on high alert.
They are referred to as ghost guns. That's because law enforcement says they're untraceable. They don't come with a serial number, and oftentimes you can build them at home. And they're showing up more and more in criminals' hands across Southern California. This is a high-power assault rifle, shooting real bullets. But it cannot be traced. You don't need a background check to get it either. It's a ghost gun, purchased online, just pieces of metal when shipped, but becoming a potentially deadly weapon once put together.
If you could put IKEA furniture together, you can make a gun at home.
Carlos Canino is the special agent in charge of the LA ATF and says nearly every day his agents are confiscating these homemade guns at an alarming rate.
30% of the firearms that we're currently holding in our vaults are these unserialized homemade firearms.
What type of weapons are we talking about?
Before, you used to see the AR-15 or the .223 caliber rifle. Now what you're starting to see is semi-auto pistols, homemade semi-auto pistols.
Why does that concern you?
Because pistols are concealable, one, and two, they're a lot easier to make than the rifle.
And he says criminals who wouldn't otherwise be able to get a gun are flocking to them. Take a look at this. Canino shows us this haul. Almost 50 ghost guns taken off the streets last year from just one bust of a gang in Hollywood. Investigators say these were going to be sold on the street.
It was so cruel.
In 2013, police say a 23-year-old man used a ghost gun to kill 2 family members before going to Santa Monica College and taking the lives of 3 more people.
It was barbaric the way they were killed.
Margaret Quiñones Perez lost her niece, Marcy, and her brother-in-law, Carlos, that day.
My loved ones died. Their blood was here on this campus, and the blood is going to be in every other parent that goes through it.
Investigators determined the killer tried to buy a gun legally, but couldn't pass a background check. So instead, he bought a kit online and assembled it himself.
Where were the safeguards? And then here I am 5 years later, and there's no safeguards.
Experts say it's hard to police ghost guns. California law only regulates the finished product, though new legislation now requires anyone who assembles a homemade gun to register it with the Department of Justice. The question is, will someone with criminal intentions likely do that?
I still think about what would have been with Marcy's life. I think about that Carlos could retire and be with his wife, and his wife and his daughter wouldn't have to struggle as much as they do now.
The ATF says they have changed the way they conduct some of their investigations as ghost gun sales increase, but tell us it is impossible to say how many are actually on the street in the hands of people who shouldn't legally be allowed to have a gun. And now some say new technology, including 3D printing, is making it even easier for criminals to make these weapons. To learn more about that, go to NBCLA.com or our NBCLA app and search ghost guns.